Middle of the Pack podcast.
There's often been times, because and I sometimes work-life balance and all that comes into it. And I remember one day, this was last year, and I remember texting one day, and I was after maybe doing the long run on the Sunday or something, and then it was like the Monday evening, and you're just come back to work, and I remember finishing late, and I was like, I wonder could I pull back, tonight on maybe a couple of the, I don't know, kilometres, whatever it was. No, you're running a half marathon, and you need to get the mileage in. There was no let up at all.
Welcome to episode 41 of the Middle of the Pack podcast. And there you heard Linda McKeown, my guest for this week, talking about her coach and where he's relentless in keeping her on track, sticking to the plan as she prepares for this year's Cork City Marathon, where she's doing the half marathon. We're continuing our series where we're looking at the Cork City Marathon run-up, and whether you're doing the 10 kilometre, the half marathon or the full marathon, then this podcast is for you, because we'll be talking to everyday runners as they go through their preparations for the Cork Marathon, which is a daunt, or the half marathon or the 10k. And depending where you are in your running journey, all of those distances can be daunting. And I know a lot of people will be running their first 10 kilometre race at the Cork Marathon. They'll certainly be running their first half marathons, as Linda did last year. And many people will be also running their first full marathon. So have a listen here for the next few weeks. And over the last few weeks, we've had guests on that are trying to achieve those tasks. Linda will also be talking about the IGBF race, which she's kindly donated 2 tickets for that. So have a listen to that as well. But now we'll start, as always, where we ask Linda about her running journey. Welcome to episode 41 of the Middle of the Pack podcast.
I only started running. I was only thinking back, actually. I said, I better go back and think about this before I came on chatting to you. I did my first 5k park run in December of 2023.
Oh, right.
And I was only new to running, raw to running, never done running before. And I remember then in February of 24 of that year, my first 5 miler actually was in Bantir, part of the Rebel Diamond.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die at that, a 5 miler, genuinely. But so I did my first 5 miler in Mallow in December. I did it with my sister-in-law, who was home from Boston, actually, with my brother. And I didn't even know about parkrun, to be honest with you. And they signed me up, and they were like, "Come on, let's go." So I did, and absolutely fell in love with running, to be honest with you, something I never thought I'd do. And then I joined. Now, we're not an actual official club, but there's a group here locally that run the Kanturk Road Runners. Now, they have their tops and everything and all that. It's really cool. So joined them, and I knew Tommy, one of the guys from work, and I remember ringing him one day and totally out of my comfort zone, and I was like, "Hi, how's it going?" And he was like, "I've seen you kind of out running and walking a bit." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can I tag along with you some Saturday morning?" And he was like, "Yeah, 100%, come on away down." And I got to meet the lads. There's 7 of us only in total, but it's really good. And it's lovely to go out and run with people as well. And, those evenings when you don't want to go out, and, you become friends through it as well. It's lovely. They're a really lovely gang, so.
But were you a member of Watergrass Hill, or are you a member, or is that no?
No, I was never a member of those. No. So I'm down in Kanturk. I remember I was with Toker Racy, and I'm going back prior to my leaving 30 years ago, because I'm originally from the A City, and I moved to Kanturk. Then I'm in Kanturk now at 17 years. So no, I was never part of any running club. So so I still consider myself new to running, especially when I see all these amazing times people are doing. But I suppose I just run because it became a big part of my life back when my husband passed away, and it was just a kind of an outlet for me, I suppose. It's only when I got into running, when you hear of other people's stories and backstories, I think we all have something that kind of pushes us, and it's definitely driven me on for the last couple of years. I never thought I would do 5k, to mind say 10k, and then you get to the 10k and you think, oh, could I do a half marathon? And that's where I kind of got Kieran involved, because I knew, I wasn't exactly a very young runner when I was starting, so with my age and stuff, and I didn't want to get hurt, and I didn't want to injure myself. So I remember going to Kieran, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, and I just said to him, "Look, I'm thinking of doing the half marathon in Cork," and because I had done the 10K the year before, and he was like, "Okay," and Kieran, have you got a pair of Nike runners, and have you got this, and have you got strap? And I was like, "No, I have none of any of that." I had an Apple Watch at the time, and he was like, "You need to get a Garmin," and so I went away and I got all the bits and pieces needed, and I suppose that's where I kind of started more of my, I won't say more serious running because I'm not a serious runner in any way, shape, or form, but I suppose Kieran just put a bit more structure, I suppose, and kind of plans into it all a place and kind of built me up slowly, slowly. And then I ran my first half last year in Cork, so I was absolutely thrilled with that.
That's brilliant. For those listening, Kieran is your brother, Kieran McKeown, the cranky coach.
Kieran McKeown, cranky coach.
Yeah, he was a guest, I think,
Yeah,
just after Christmas as well. So running
yeah.
wasn't in the family, isn't? Well, obviously, there's a little bit. You're both running, but
Oh, yeah, well, Kieran, yeah, Kieran is,
well,
yeah.
you know,
Uh, and you know what? I say it now, like, I mean, we always knew Kieran was absolutely amazing. I mean, and he still is, like, but it's not till I went into his world, as I call it, the kind of running world side of it, just actually how good Kieran is and how well known he is out there. And, yeah, everyone knows Kieran, and I don't know why. Like, I don't think he's cranky. I, I know he calls himself the cranky coach, and I just want to put it out there. I get no special treatment. He's probably harder on me because I'm his sister.
yeah. Well, no, I've said that from the very beginning when I was with the Runner's Diary. They said, "Oh, you'll get a coach for being a leader in the marathon." I was going, "I don't want a cranky coach," like, and they were going, "Oh, he's not cranky," and he's not cranky,
He's
really.
not.
No,
He's not.
I think it's got something to do with his face when he's really pushing it hard. Um,
Yeah.
so he pushes you harder than he pushes us, does he?
Like, there's often been times, like, because and it's sometimes work-life balance and all that comes into it. Like, and I remember one day, oh, this was last year, and I remember texting one day, and I was like, I was after maybe doing the long run on the Sunday or something, and then it was like the Monday evening, and you're just gone back to work, and I remember finishing late, and I was like, I'm wondering could I pull back, tonight on maybe a couple of the, I don't know, kilometers, whatever it was. No, you're running a half marathon, Linda. You need to get the mileage in. There was no let up at
Yeah.
all. Yeah. But he's good at what he does. He's amazing at what he does. So if you stick to the plan and do it, it definitely works. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if I can do it, trust me, anybody can do it.
well,
Yeah.
I think we'd be in the same boat. Like I think when I started, I was relieved that you and I were able to kind of go. We're not doing sub 19 5Ks kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
but everybody's there. Everyone's there. Everyone's a runner, and I've never really felt in any running community, whether it's with
Mm.
Eagles, my club, or with parkrun people, nobody really judges you if you're
Yeah.
28, 34, 20, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Everyone's just glad to see you out there. So in
Mhm.
Cork, what are you doing this year?
I'm doing the half marathon in Cork.
Again.
So yeah, so it's the day before my birthday. So, and I did enter Dublin and for the marathon later on in the year, the Dublin Marathon, and I have got an entry for that. So I'll get Cork over with first, and then I'll see where I am. But I have a big birthday this year, so and I like to give myself targets. Like last year was the half marathon, and I'm just hopefully I'll have it in me. I'd love to do one marathon. I never thought as I said earlier, I never thought I'd get to the point where I'd be doing a half marathon. Never mind saying actually sitting here and genuinely thinking, do I have it in me to do the full? So yeah, so it'll be an exciting year if I do it. And a couple of my guys, they Cantor Road runners, there's two of them doing it as well. So, which I know in training, obviously, if you're training on your own, just getting feedback from a few of the guys and girls I know within the kind of running, they were saying that you really, if you had somebody to do those long runs with training with it, it just makes it easier. Do you know what I mean? Because it is a lot of mileage. But fingers crossed, yeah, fingers
Oh,
crossed, I'll get to Dublin.
and do you think they'll run the marathon with you as well, or will that just
Oh
be?
yeah, they've actually got entries now also. Yeah, which is brilliant. Yeah,
But
which is great. So,
but they will be running it at your pace as
oh
well.
sorry, they've done marathons before, but I know that because it's my first one of them would definitely do it with me, as in run start to kind of finish with me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, Dublin is a wonderful experience. I mean, I did both last year. Cork's fabulous. You know, no doubt Cork Marathon is fabulous, but Dublin is just something special. It is special.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but do you know, like I think if you do any of these races for the first time, no pressure with times. Just enjoy the training,
Mm.
enjoy the race, enjoy the run, whatever. Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
right. I think the long runs, it's great to have somebody doing it with you because long
Mhm.
runs can be
Yeah.
lonely sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Long.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And it'd be nice to finish this year saying that, the target I gave myself, as crazy as it sounded, but it would be lovely to finish the year with at least one, or not, well, not at least, but have one marathon done. Like, because I don't know. Now they say once you get the bug, though, I don't think it's in me, but I'll try and do one anyway, start and finish. Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
that's the right way of doing it. And so how is your training block looking for Cork then compared to last year, let's say?
Compared compared to last year, I was definitely a lot more mileage last year. Like, I'm sticking to the plan as much as I can, but it's really tough. Like, I do work kind of way a lot. Like, and when I'm away, I bring the gear with me and try and get out, but to do long hours. So, I know Kieran is like, skip the kind of shorter runs, but make sure you're getting your long runs in at the weekend, which I always will. Like tomorrow now I'll do Buin, and I was talking to Kieran during the weekend. I was saying, I hadn't planned on doing Buin, but then I said, okay, look, I'll enter it. So I entered it, and I was just on to Kieran saying, will I still get mileage in afterwards? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, just keep up the mileage after that. So I kind of fit it in that way, and I suppose that's where Kieran really comes in to kind of help you. Having a coach there is that, sometimes he'll say, no, pull back, or no, you can do the extra bit of mileage. Whereas, because as Kieran always said, don't be doubling up on runs as well during the day. But obviously with the 5K tomorrow, it'll be okay to do mileage after it. So would I like to be a little bit fitter? I was definitely doing more mileage last year than I was for the Cork half. Like, I have a couple of weeks out. I'm still, look, I've done a good few 10 minors as well. Like, I've done Mallow. I did Tralee in February, and then there was the Mallow in March, and I did the Cove in April, which is good. And I was really happy with Cove, actually, because, as you know, I know you've done it as well, and it is a very tough course. So
Mm,
I think I shaved 2 minutes off my time, which I was absolutely thrilled with this year. So
that's
I think,
brilliant.
and it gives you confidence, because I think Cove is kind of that 10 miler. It's a really hard race, but it sets you up nicely for Cork, the confidence and knowing that you can run such a kind of tough run, and then just to add 5K onto it after that, for a Cork. Like, so, yeah.
And are you going for a time or is it just finish line?
I came in at 2:13 last year. I went out. I kind of gave myself, the way Kieran would give you kind of two targets. So I remember last year, plan A and plan B. So plan A was 2:10 and plan B was 2:15. So I came in at 2:13 something, I can't remember, but I was actually really happy with it. I mean, it was my first half, and everyone had kind of warned me, the last 3 miles can be really tough, and they were, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I just noticed I got very tired at the end of it, even though I kind of had kept pace through the race and I was on target, but the last 3 miles just got really tough. So this year I definitely feel more prepared going into Cork, knowing the route, knowing, the kind of downhills, the, pulls within it and things like that. So I definitely feel more prepped. So time wise, if I could come in around the same, but obviously I would like to come in a little bit faster if I could. So yeah, yeah, I would definitely like to get a better time in Cork. Yeah.
And do you think the coach gives us plan A and plan B, knowing that we're going to come in plan A and a half?
It works. And do you
Yeah.
know what? I think as well, having the plan A and plan B, because you have the plans in your head, you don't feel as, oh my God, because those last three miles, I was like, just kick into plan B now. Do you know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
I didn't feel I was like failing, or I wasn't, I had done something wrong within the race. Like, whereas it really gave me the kind of confidence to keep pushing through. And I dug so deep in Cork for the half last year, and I had one of my runners from here with me, and she just kept me going from the start until the finish. Now, she's a very experienced runner, and she does long distance running, and without her, those last 3 miles, as you said, like just egging you on. And she was like, it's okay. Like, because I had kind of told her as well of Kieran's plans and plan A and plan B. So she was like, we're in plan B now. So let's go and let's keep going. And then when you started coming in towards the city down after kind of Carrigahan Road, and the crowds would kind of keep you going anyway, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the last kind of push over the A line. But yeah, I'd like to come in a little bit faster this year, definitely.
Yeah. No, I mean, like it's a great, I mean, I think, like you say, the crowd pushes you over, but also I think and this is the difference with having a coach rather than an app. It's even the confidence that you get from your coach saying, I think you can do it in 2:10. I think you can do it in
Yeah.
2:15. Because I
Yeah.
remember for the marathon, I was going, I have no idea what I can do it in. And he went,
Yeah.
follow the 4:15 pacer. And then
Wow.
eventually I was able to kick on and go faster. Do you know what I mean? But I would,
Amazing.
I
Yeah.
would never have done that on my own, do you know? And
Yeah.
shoes, you must, being Kieran's crew, have carbon plates then.
I do indeed. I do indeed. I started off with Nike, as I think most of us did, if when I started out running first. So I had my Hocus like for everyday running, which I still kind of like, just say if I'm doing more easy runs and things like that. The carbon plated Nike, I just felt the Vaporflies, they just didn't really suit me. So I went up to the Edge Sports. The guys up there are great. And I moved over to Saucony. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So
Yeah,
they're my carbon
perfect.
plated, and they've now become my everyday runners. So I've the carbon plated and then non-carbon plated. So I'm wearing those at the moment. And I do kind of put in and out my Hocus, especially if, for like our 35-minute runs or our 30-minute runs are kind of easy runs. So I also do a bit of kind of trail running as well. I do love the trail running side of it, especially down here in North Cork where we live. So my trail runners would be Hoka than it is as well. So yeah.
And do you do cross country?
I don't do cross country, but I've done a few of the Imra, the mountains. So I've done a few of the Imra runs, and I've done for the last 2 years the Beast of Beara down in West Cork. It's a half marathon over mountain. I went down blind the first year, but I loved it. It was such a tough run. Like it's over 3 peaks, but it's absolutely stunning. And we went back down last year, and I'm going to go down again this year. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's completely different running. Absolutely, completely different running. A lot more obviously challenging climbing. You're hiking, walking, running, but it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
And for Cork, have you got your fueling strategy sorted?
Yeah, so I was always nervous of caffeine gels. I've kind of trialed a few different gels, but I've definitely over the last year the Precision. I've used those a lot, and I've started using caffeine in them. So they definitely work.
Good.
I don't know why I was so nervous of them, but just your kind of stomach and your belly and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I use them for Cove, and I use them for Mallow, and they do definitely make a massive difference. So, like I said, I've tried a few different kind of brands of gels, but definitely I've kind of stuck with these ones. They agree with me, and they definitely work. Yeah.
So will you take about 4 gels for a half marathon then, or more?
Last year took I think it was was it 2.5 or 3? I think I took 3. I probably didn't fuel correctly last year. Maybe not correctly, but I had fueled as much as I had maybe, kind of training when I was training for Cork with my longer miles. But I definitely feel I could fuel better. I did a half marathon in Lanzarote in December of last year, and I definitely fueled better for that. And I fueled better the week running up to it as well, just with like salt tablets, liquid electrolytes, and that. And I definitely fueled myself better. So I think this year I will definitely make a few changes. As I said, with my kind of fueling and the run up to it, also definitely, yeah. I'll definitely be more prepped for it.
Yeah, yeah. And that'll help too
Mm.
with the
Yeah,
last few kilometers.
yeah, yeah. The last caffeine before
Yeah.
before the last 3 miles, definitely. Yeah.
Just remember, I learned that this time it takes 45 minutes to kick in.
I always was told a half an hour, so I will take that on board. So
Yeah.
I'll be well prepped prior to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
George from
Yeah.
Precision said a lot of people, the caffeine's kicking in when they're collecting their medals
Yeah.
because we take it too soon. And tell me about this race, the grocery run.
Oh yes. So It's our third year running it down in Cork. So the IGBF, is the Irish Grocers Benevolent Fund. It's a long established Irish charity, and I suppose it's dedicated to supporting people within the grocery sector within Ireland. I suppose it goes under the kind of radar a lot because a lot of people, even over the last few years, were asking me what is the ITBF and what do they do. So I suppose they support people within the retail sector that maybe are going through hardship, like bereavement, illness assistance, and things like that. So they play a massive part, just kind of helping people, especially with kind of medical care costs and things like that. So it's been running for a good few years. They're in year 10 actually this year up in Dublin, and they wanted to bring it down to Cork, and it was a charity close to my heart. And they came to me to see would I get involved with them in bringing it down to Cork. So we did it in Mallow, and they said, look, if it goes well, we'll obviously keep it going. And this is year 3, so I'm absolutely thrilled with it. And numbers are up again this year already. People have started registering for it. So it's the 20th of June, and all are welcome. I'll share the link on my own page, and if you could share as well, it'd be great. But so it's like a real fun day. So everything that's raised obviously goes back to the charity, and Cork is a little bit different in the way that it's a little bit more kind of family or orientated. So like we have like tea, food, cakes and all that afterwards. We have medals, and we're absolutely famous for our goodie bags. Companies are actually absolutely brilliant. The goodie bags are absolutely packed out with all stuff that we get supplied from companies within the sector. So yeah, it's a goodie bag, it's a medal, it's actually great out. And there's a lot of us even say like it's kind of a novelty to be able to run around the Mallow race course as well, like, you know. So, and there's just a lovely feel to it. And I have to say the support from all of the clubs from city and county and further field. And I suppose it's when you get to know so many runners out there, and you know, they kind of come because it's you as well, and then they get to know the charity as well. So it's absolutely amazing.
And do you have tickets for us, or is that?
Absolutely, I do. So I've actually 4 entries. So there's 2 entries for Dublin, and there's 2 entries for Cork, if you'd like to check them.
No, it's not the Dublin Marathon. It's the grocery run.
It's the Dublin. Yeah, sorry, the Dublin Irish courses. Apologies. I told you I was nervous coming on pod.
No, that's all right. In case some people are going. So people can drop us an email to enter, is it? And we'll pick.
Yeah, so I'll share it. So it's pop up races, and it's through event master. So I will share the QR codes with you, and like I said, they're on the IGBF Instagram and Facebook page as well. And you can basically scan the QR code, and it'll bring you to either the Cork IGBF Fun Run or the Dublin IGBF Fun Run, and you can register from there.
Okay, and if they want to avail of the tickets, they'll drop us an email here.
Is that okay? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll put the email, which is motpire@gmail.com, if you want to enter for both races. 2 tickets for both races. Yes, that's fabulous. Yeah. So what was the date again? It's
the 20th of June.
20th of June
in Mallow. Yeah.
So tell me, with Cork, just to get back on that, you're feeling confident, everything's in order, and what you're doing Buin tomorrow, which was last Sunday for when this goes out, and have you any other races booked in between now and Cork?
No, I don't have any booked in. The last of the Rebel Diamond League is Buttervent, but that's quite close to Cork. And I remember last year Kieran pulled it for me because he just didn't want me racing so near it. So Buin actually, will be my last race before Cork. Yeah.
And then what has your longest run been to date for the half marathon? And
my longest run to date has been 11 miles, and felt quite comfortable actually, which was really good. Yeah, it was really good. I'm not sure. I'm waiting on the plan for next week. I'm taking it that there'll be a long enough run as well, kind of next week, and I'm just building up then to it. And then I remember last year when everyone was on about taper week, never knew what it meant. Now I know, and now I get it. And it was quite hard actually. I can only imagine people that do full marathons, but I know with the half marathon, you're kind of itching to do something, and you're like, why am I not running as much as I was? But it definitely pays off for when you actually go to a race.
Yeah, it's a funny feeling because we did Cork half marathon the year before last, and we were tapering. But tapering for a marathon is it's just because you just don't want anything to go wrong. You know what I mean? You don't want to be able not to run it, having trained for so long. And for some reason, I probably take half marathons for granted a bit more now than having done the full. But you'll get the full done this year for sure. I'm confident.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. And look, I've been lucky so far. Like I've had a few niggles here and there. I know before Mallow, my IT band, I suppose when your kind of mileage starts going back up, it was just causing me a bit of trouble. And I suppose, look, I'm a bit of a devil. I know I need to do a little bit more kind of core strength work. But look, I've kind of started doing that, and hopefully that will help as well when I get to the half in Cork. But yeah, just physio kind of sorted that out for me. And I went out and I actually ran Mallow, and I was quite happy with Mallow. Okay, it wasn't my fastest time, which was absolutely fine, but it was still good to get out and get the kind of 10 miles into the leg and into the legs. And I do like Mallow. I think it's actually a really nice route. A little bit hilly, but it's fine.
And I think the new route is better. Apart from the start, it's a fabulous
going
race.
Through the race course.
Yeah, I thought it was nice. A lot of people were going beforehand. Were going, oh, that's going to be terrible. But I loved it. I thought I was on the final furlong running along. So just before we go, remind me again of the race, and we'll just the grocery run again.
Yeah, so
dates.
Perfect. So the IGBF run, the fun run, is on in Dublin on the 6th of June, and then the IGBF run in Cork is on in Mallow, and that's on Saturday the 20th of June. And in Cork we have a 5 and a 10k option as well. So there's two distances in Cork, and the one in Dublin on the 6th is in Leopardstown race course, and it's a 6.4 kilometre loop.
And there's 2 free tickets for both races. And if you want to enter,
2 free tickets for both races.
And if you want to
there's medals and amazing goodie bags afterwards.
Yeah. So drop
goodie
us
bags, we've actually become famous for them.
Yeah, I've heard of the goodie bag. So yeah, drop us an email on motpire@gmail.com to enter that competition. Linda, thanks for your time. I know you were very nervous about coming on. But you were super confident, and I know maybe not at similar times, but I know running within the group, you are an inspiration, and you've been hugely encouraging to me on my journey every time. So I appreciate that as well. So thank you very much for your time and coming on the show, on the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. No, and look, I love, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on, but I love your podcast, and I think it's amazing. Like, you've such varied runners, and as said, like, I think even the name middle of the pack, like, because I'll never be at the start, hopefully never be at the back, but I'm just in the middle there, and I'll just keep plowing away and keep training away. And as you said, like, anything we can do, like, as in our little personal best, for ourselves. I mean, it's always good. Just stick to the plan, as Kieran says, stick to the plan.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Thanks very much.
Oh, thank you so much.
And thank you to Linda McKeown for coming on this week's show, episode 41 of the Middle of the Pack podcast. I do hope you've enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. It's great to have, as I said, the everyday runners coming on, talking about their journeys and talking about, it's difficult for a lot of people that I've asked to be guests, because a lot of people aren't used to doing podcasts, aren't used to recording, and a lot of people aren't used to talking about their running journey. But just remember, if you're out there running, you are definitely a runner. And Linda and myself are part of Kieran McKeown's group, as you would have heard, where we are surrounded by pretty elite runners, and it's always nice to be able to support each other, but also the elite runners are superb in supporting us as well, encouraging us on, as well as having a coach like Kieran. Obviously is her brother, but still as she says, doesn't let up in training her the right way. And every day we see improvements in our running, which is wonderful as well. All down to the commitment of people within the running community, which we definitely want to celebrate on this podcast. Remember again that the IGBF races on the 20th of June in Cork and the 6th of June in Dublin. We have 2 tickets to give away for each race. So if you want to email us at motpire@gmail.com, that's motpire@gmail.com. I'll also put that email address on the show notes for this particular episode. You can enter for 2 tickets for either of those races. The winner will be announced in about 3 weeks' time. So I do hope you've enjoyed this week's episode 41 of the Middle of the Pack podcast, and thanks to Linda again. So for this week, thanks for listening and keep on running.